New images out of Afghanistan tonight. The Taliban taunting American military forces with this picture, recreated to look like U.S. troops at Iwo Jima. The terrorist group also sharing videos on Twitter of fighters patrolling the streets of Kabul wearing American uniforms and carrying American weapons. And tonight, the situation outside the airport is getting worse. Thousands of people have flooded the airport in a desperate effort to flee the country. You can hear the screams of women and children who fear Taliban rule. And right now, time is running out to remove all Americans from Afghanistan before the August 31st deadline set by President Biden. The airport is now fully blocked off by Taliban leaders, and NewsNation's Felicia Bolton has the latest developments in this ongoing situation. It is so drastic now, Felicia.
It's extremely drastic, Rudabeh. It's really tough to look at. We know that so many Afghan families are pleading with foreign governments to help them evacuate. All of this happening while new ISIS threats against Americans have now emerged. The airport is the main way out of the fallen country, and it is also a possible target of ISIS forces. Pandemonium and violence outside of the Kabul airport, now surrounded by concrete barriers and razor wire. As crowds of Afghan families, wartime translators, and American allies who fear the Taliban's retaliation flee for a way to escape. Others are holding on to hope the new leadership will stay true to their promise of peace.
There is no job, and we call on the Taliban to establish a government and bring peace, stability, and security all over Afghanistan and create job opportunities for us.
As President Biden's August 31st deadline to withdraw U.S. troops is approaching, there are new Islamic State threats against Americans in Afghanistan. The U.S. military is now forced to develop new ways to get evacuees to safety. Ali LATIFI is a journalist living in Kabul.
The first day I was afraid to go out. I was scared that they would recognize me and that they may, try and attack me or take some kind of retaliatory action against me. But so far, they've all been putting on a good face. They've all been very nice and, acting normally. Haven't said anything, gave me permission to photograph and talk to them.
U.S. officials say they are creating a plan to get small groups of Americans and possibly other civilians to the U.S. military to flee the fallen nation. On Saturday, the U.S. Embassy issued a new security warning telling citizens not to travel to the Kabul airport without direct instruction from a U.S. government representative. LATIFI says this pullout was bound to happen, but he believes the chaos could have been prevented.
They had to do it eventually, and 20 years is far too long, and the people were fed up with them anyways. What was a bad decision was the way they went about it, was, just saying we're going to cut and run.
Well, officials say the ISIS threat is significant, but there have not been any confirmed attacks so far. President Biden did make it very clear he has no plans on extending the deadline to protect Afghan families or train their military. However, he will keep troops there to protect Americans abroad. Rudabeh.